In the early hours of June 30th, 1908, a remote region of Siberia witnessed one of the most powerful explosions in recorded history, and to this day, no one can say for certain exactly what caused it. At around 7:17 a.m., near the Podkamennaya Tunguska River, a massive fireball lit up the sky, followed by a shockwave so intense that it flattened over 80 million trees across an area of 830 square miles. Witnesses, who lived in small villages tens or even hundreds of miles away, described the sky splitting in two and hearing a deafening roar, like artillery fire, that lasted for minutes. Some reported that the ground shook violently, while others saw a column of light stretching toward the heavens. What was this event? An asteroid? A comet? Or something far stranger? The first mystery of the Tunguska event was that there was no impact crater. When scientists finally reached the site, nearly 2 decades later due to the remoteness of the location, they found scorched trees radiating outward from a central point, like the spokes of a wheel, but no sign of a meteorite or debris. The blast's force has been estimated at 10 to 15 megatons of TNT, roughly 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The fact that such a massive release of energy left no visible crater baffled researchers for years. The most widely accepted explanation today is that a space object, likely a stony asteroid or icy comet about 50 to 60 meters in diameter, entered Earth's atmosphere at tremendous speed, heated up from the friction, and exploded in the air about 5 to 10 kilometers above the ground in what's called an airburst. This would explain the absence of an impact site, as the object disintegrated before it could strike the surface. But while the airburst theory satisfies many scientists, it doesn't fully explain all the strange details surrounding Tunguska. For instance, in the days following the explosion, observers across Europe and Asia reported unusually bright night skies, so luminous that people in London could read newspapers at midnight without artificial light. Some suggested this was due to fine particles or ice crystals thrown high into the atmosphere, reflecting sunlight over vast distances. Others speculated about a possible link to cosmic phenomena, perhaps an interaction with Earth's magnetic field that caused aurora-like effects. Adding to the mystery, there were also peculiar reports of burning black rain falling shortly after the blast, strange silvery clouds lingering for weeks, and a measurable increase in atmospheric dust. Some researchers have even pointed to similarities between the Tunguska event and modern nuclear explosions, noting that trees in the blast zone appeared to be stripped and scorched in a way reminiscent of atomic bomb test sites, decades before the nuclear age began. While there's no credible evidence that Tunguska was the result of human technology, this observation has fueled alternative theories. These alternative explanations range from the imaginative to the outright bizarre. One theory proposes that Tunguska was caused by the accidental detonation of a small black hole passing through Earth, which entered in Siberia and exited somewhere in the North Atlantic. Another posits that it was the crash of an alien spacecraft, with the lack of debris explained by the total disintegration of the craft on impact. Some writers have tied Tunguska to the work of Nikola Tesla, speculating that he may have accidentally unleashed a powerful beam of energy from his experimental Wardenclyffe Tower in New York. While such ideas remain in the realm of speculation and science fiction, they highlight how the Tunguska event captures the imagination as much as it challenges scientific understanding. The human impact of Tunguska was surprisingly limited, given the blast's magnitude. The region was sparsely populated, and while reports from local Evenki herders speak of reindeer herds being incinerated and people thrown from their huts, confirmed fatalities were minimal. Still, the psychological shock was profound. Many indigenous witnesses interpreted the event through spiritual or mythological lenses, seeing it as the anger of a god or the fall of a celestial being. Without the means to investigate, the story lived on as oral tradition until the first Soviet expeditions arrived in 1927, led by scientist Leonid Kulik. Kulik's surveys confirmed the extent of the devastation, and his photographs of endless flattened trees remain iconic images of the event. Modern science continues to study Tunguska, using computer simulation, satellite imagery, and geological analysis to refine our understanding. The prevailing conclusion remains that it was a natural cosmic impact, a rare but inevitable reminder of Earth's vulnerability to space hazards. Events of similar size are estimated to occur once every few hundred to thousand years, meaning Tunguska was both catastrophic and, in cosmic terms, relatively lucky. If the same object had exploded over a major city instead of remote Siberia, the loss of life would have been unimaginable. Yet despite all the research, Tunguska retains a sense of mystery. Perhaps it's because we instinctively fear the idea that something so destructive can come out of nowhere, without warning, and leave behind only questions. Or maybe it's the allure of the unexplained, the slim possibility that what happened in that lonely stretch of Siberian forest wasn't just a natural disaster, but something stranger. More than a century later, the Tunguska event stands as one of the greatest unsolved puzzles in history. A silent warning written across the taiga, reminding us that in the grand scheme of the universe, we are still very small.